It's the early way, yeah. 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 What's up? I'm Early Earl. I think I've sliding down into these YouTube streets and coming on down here to the Early Way. And I'm coming at y'all with a Reddit Out Loud. And this is where we get together, we pull questions from Reddit.com, and we read aloud what they got to say. We either answer the questions, give our advice, or we just laugh at how crazy these questions sounds. So y'all, ride with me. And we have our first question. It reads, I, 42 male, don't want my wife, 41, to join us on our vacation this summer. My wife grew up very upper class, and her parents have always used money to control her and other things in life. I grew up lower/middle class and had to grind for everything. Her parents haven't been nice to me and always had a superiority attitude, acting like I'm so lucky they rescued me. Several years ago, I started a business with no help from them. They even took some digs at me in the beginning like it wouldn't be successful. Now I'm somewhat on cruise control with 30 employees, and I'm making several $1 million US per year. Her parents now see this as a threat and have stepped up their mental abuse of her, and she can't seem to shake free of their control, even though they actually are powerless other than perception. She admits it's unhealthy but won't take them on or say no. Now we are planning a several-week trip to Europe this summer. Her parents' journey will make it an experience for me that I'd rather just not go. She furious at me for saying that they aren't invited because she knows they'll attack her. Am I the asshole? Should I just let them come to give her what she wants? No. You will not be the asshole if you don't want them to come. You won't be. You just won't. They've been an asshole all these years, mental abusing the daughter and coming at you like they rescued you, so they let down at you. So you won't be the asshole. They already been the asshole. And should you let them come to give her what she wants? No. It seems like you've been letting the wife get what she wants all this time. Y'all finna be out in Europe for several weeks. You do not want the parents to come so you can be miserable for those weeks. Don't let them come. If it's not a romantic vacation and the parents just so happen have to come, like you said, you make several $1 million per year. You could be off doing your own thing. You don't really have to be around the wife and her parents. When it's time for you to be around the wife, you can just pull her away from her parents. You ain't even got to deal with them and be around your wife. That's it. It can really work both ways. It's just up to you which way you want to work it. They don't have to come, or you don't have to go, or y'all both can go and you just be off doing your own thing. Either way, somebody gonna be mad in the situation. And we have our second question, and it reads, am I the asshole for telling off my cousin? I'll try to keep this short. My 23 male cousin, 22 male, and I have been super close for a really long time. Recently, me, my cousin, my wife, and a mutual friend were all hanging out playing Jenga. Stack the block and pull, Jenga. Stack the blocks and pull. Now my wife is not the most coordinated, and there were some drinks involved, but she was doing really poorly. That being said, no one really cared, and my wife and I were on a team, so if anyone had the right to be upset, then it would have been me. Anyways, after the third time, she was the reason the towel fell over my cousin, who had also been drinking. He went on a rant calling her a stupid, uncoordinated bitch who keeps wrecking the game. She instantly shut down and just walked off into our room, and I got pissed at my cousin. I told him that was unacceptable and that he needed to go apologize. Instead, he doubled down and called her fat. Ooh, not fat. He doubled down and called her fat, then left with our friend who was obviously uncomfortable. We used to talk almost every day, but it's been 3 days and we haven't spoke at all. My wife is still pissed. Obviously his comments wasn't right, but my wife was running the game, and it does take a while to set each game up. Am I the asshole? No, you're not an asshole for taking up for your wife. You're not. But you are an asshole to trying to find a reason to agree with your cousin about your wife. Your cousin, you said to yourself, even though the comments weren't right, your wife was ruining the game. It's almost like you trying to agree with your cousin. Well, you do agree with your cousin because you know your wife. The whole question was you agree with your cousin, you miss your cousin, and you trying to see did you go over and beyond with your cousin by taking up for your wife. And just for that reason that you had to ask that question, you are the asshole. And we have our third question, and it's a pretty long one, so y'all bear with me. It reads, am I the asshole for being annoyed by my boyfriend's lack of dental hygiene? And just off that first question, no, you're not the asshole, because the breath is very important. The fuck? You is not the asshole for being annoyed by your boyfriend's stank ass breath. Sorry in advance for how long this may be. My boyfriend and I have been together for around 6 months now, and everything is great except for his dental hygiene. I didn't notice at first, but the more I started coming over, I realized that he didn't really brush his teeth. He brushes maybe once a day, even if that. Sometimes it really grosses me out. His breath can get really bad, and it generally makes me feel disgusted. I brought it up to him gently after he tried to kiss me, and his breath smelled like literally shit. He got all pouty and said that he doesn't really consider brushing his teeth a priority because he never developed that habit when he was a kid. The fuck? The first thing we did when we got up as a child was wash our face and brush our teeth. That was mandatory in my household. So what the fuck? As a child, you never did that? You never developed that habit? Now I'm on the parents' head. What the fuck the parents been doing? He said as a kid he barely brushed and never had any dental issues, but now there are obviously signs of neglect. First being the disgusting breath, and I also noticed he had really bad tartar and plaque buildup as well as receding gums. So I told him about the dentist and how that they can help him, and even his mom jumped in and suggested he went. Now the mama want to suggest that he go to the dentist. Why she wasn't suggesting he get his ass up and brush his teeth as a child? So now you want to say something after the girlfriend said them teeth bad and his breath smell like shit? I can't. He finally ended up going and came home super pissed that there was so much wrong with his teeth. There was so much buildup that you couldn't tell there were cavities in almost all his front teeth. The fuck? I am disgusted. He has been complaining about it all week, and last night he had an appointment to get his cavities filled. He got into a huge fight and blamed me for everything because they found more work that needs to be done, and now he actually has to take care of his teeth. They gave him a toothbrush, special toothpaste, and mouthwash, and he refused to brush last night and this morning. So would I be the asshole for generally being annoyed and disgusted by his poor hygiene and for being upset that he's blaming me for his dental issues? And to add to this case, anyone asks, I'm 22 and he's 26, surely he should be old enough to take care of his breath himself. And you is right, he's old enough to take care of his breath, and you old enough to not be with nobody with some stank ass breath. That is a deal breaker. Get the fuck on, girl. He don't even want to brush after he went to the dentist, and you still want to be around him. Now I'm looking at you. Do your breath stink too? Disgusting. I don't even. Next question. And we have our fourth question, and it reads, am I the asshole for losing it on my mom after she made a low blow comment uncalled for? We'll see. I, 26 female, have had a rocky relationship with my mom, who's 57, most of my life. For the greater part of my life, my mom has always had a short fuse, and when upset, she verbally attacks people closest to her. 98% of the time, I am my mother's go-to target, and there is nothing off limits to her. What? For a bit of backstory, about 5.5 years ago, I had a most unfortunate drug overdose, which left me with a severe hearing loss, but I'm functional with hearing aids. I've completely gotten my life together since. Have my own house, a career. I've been fortunate enough to have saved quite a bit of money, and I have a child I have sole custody of that I provide for completely on my own, as to be expected as a parent. Flash forward to now. My mother has consistently made hurtful remarks about my hearing, or lack thereof, as a dig at me in arguments. She at one point even fired me as her assistant because my hearing is such an inconvenience to her. What? For years, my mom has made me feel like I'm not good at anything and contribute nothing to the business. We've worked together. Whenever she faults on something, it immediately becomes me who made the mistake. I have videos of her screaming bloody murder at me while I'm trying to work, and have text messages from the last 6 years, her completely berating me and putting me down. My mom recently made a comment to me about how she hopes I don't end up back on the streets dancing, as I most regretfully used to be an exotic dancer, but again have since changed my ways and become a productive member of the society and strive every day to never align with my past choices. Her saying that instantly sent me into a rage, and I usually don't retaliate against my mom when she lashes out at me, but this time was uncontrollable on my behalf. I instantly was telling her how I hated her, how she was a terrible person, and how my entire life she has always put me down, and how she was my first bully, and I just really was unleashing 17 plus years of anger out on her. I've accepted I want nothing to do with her and made that quite clear, but my mom expects an apology from me, which I told her I would die before I ever apologize. Am I the asshole for saying such hurtful things? No, you're not the asshole. No, you're not the asshole. People love to say that you shouldn't disrespect your mother and father, but they fail to realize that the mother and father sometimes provoke the child to do what the child does. So you had 17 years build-up of anger in you because of your mother. It was only a matter of time before you released it. If not on her, on somebody else. So you're not the asshole. Sometimes these parents think that they can say anything and we're supposed to just be quiet. I'm not one of those children that's going to let my mother or father just say anything to me out of disrespect and expect me to say nothing. No. That's not how it works. You respect me, I respect you. And that's it. You're not finna disrespect me and think I still supposed to respect you and do what you asked me to do and not say nothing. Have your mother apologized to you for saying those hurtful things? No, but she wants you to apologize to her for saying hurtful things. No, it don't go like that. If anything, it's an eye for an eye. You say something bad to me, I'm going to say something bad to you. We both going to apologize. It's not just no one-end deal. So, no, you're not the asshole. And if you don't want to deal with your parents, you don't have to. And that's it. That's just how I feel. Next question. And now we have our last and final question. Question number 5. It says, my wife laughed at me naked when I was making an advance that she claimed she wanted. It reads, my wife and I of 10 years have had hard times and went on to use an app called Spicer that allows you both to answer sexually related questions, to say what sexual interests you have in common. One of the things was to surprise the other naked in bed touching themselves. Okay then. According to her answer, she didn't have much interest in doing that for me. Oop. She didn't have much interest in doing that for me to fire her like that, but she answered that she would like to find me like that. So I went for it. I stripped down on a well-made bed, got myself hard, and held onto myself, waiting for her to come back in. When she did, she laughed. Ooh, she laughed. She might as well have been making fun of me for trying. I'm not small. I'm in good shape. I wasn't making any weird faces. Her laugh just tore me apart. Like many others after marriage, she had no interest in sex. I'm tired of taking shots and getting nowhere. I listen to her over everything. I invite her family anytime she wants. I clean up after her, cut her on the couch, take her on her little dates, watch her shows with her, and I hate baking shows. I've taken it up with her many times, and she says that her libido is just not there, and she gets tunnel vision with work. It's the same conversation all the time, but this time I don't even want to talk about it. What do? We have 2 kids, we live together, not looking for a divorce. What do I do now? How do I take her How do I get her to take this seriously? And I'm going to say my advice to you is just wait. Just wait on it. It's obviously something going on with her, and you pressuring her about sex, and sex is not on her mind right now. I'm going to say just wait and see where it see where it goes. If you can't just wait and it's nothing's going with her, it's something else. Because why she laughed at you while you was in bed? Why she did that would have made me feel away too. Because the fuck you laughing for when I'm trying to spice up our sex life? Why you laughing? What's going on? Now I got questions for the wife. What's going on with you? You say your libido low. What? I don't know what to say. Cause y'all did the app thing to spice up y'all life, and when it was time to spice it up, she just laughed. I don't know, something going on. I'm gonna say dig a little, do a little more research, see what's going on with the wife. What's she doing at work? Who's she talking to at work? Now I'm curious. Now I'm curious. I'm trying to see something. And y'all, that was it with Reddit Out Loud, where we get together and we read out loud some of these questions that's on Reddit. And I do thank y'all for tuning in, and until next time.